Hi everybody, it's Linnea for LDRS Creative, and I'm going to make a simple card using some products from the latest January release. I am in love with these A2 background strips. You can see here that in the back of my pocket where I keep all of the sizes, the 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, and 1/2 an inch, as well as the 1/2 an inch stitched stripes, I have a whole bunch of strips of colored cardstock left over from other projects. And so I wanted to use these up and create a simple background spotlight pattern. I have a piece of scrap cardstock here that I have covered with a double-sided adhesive, and this is larger than what I'm going to need, so I will cut this down later. And all I'm doing is grabbing some colors of cardstock, and I kind of went with a green, teal, purple, and yellow color scheme, and I'm just going to alternate those colors diagonally across this sheet of adhesive. I like to make diagonal patterns because I don't have to make sure that anything is straight, and I don't really have to focus on lining anything up. All I'm doing is just taking those A2 background strips that I've die cut and butting them up against each other. Then once I have that whole panel covered, I'm going to take my scissors and just trim off the excess. This panel is still larger than what I'm going to need, but I wanted to stamp my image on top and then trim this down later once my card is nearer towards completion. So I have the Scenic Backgrounds 2 stamp set, and I've taken the stamp that kind of is like the city pattern, and I'm stamping that right on top of all of those A2 background strips with some Raven Hybrid ink. I'm not going to color this in. I'm going to let the colors of those strips of cardstock shine through, and this is really going to be a subtle background. The focal point is going to be this adorable giraffe on the bike, and he is from the Friends Around the World stamp set. I love little critters on my cards, and the Friends Around the World stamp set has a bunch of different critters from different areas of the world doing different things, and I think this giraffe on the bike is really versatile, especially with the sentiment I'm going to be using that just says miss you. I'm going to color him up with some yellow red marker, so he has kind of like an orangey brown tint to him. So I used YR24, YR23, and then YR21. And then I'm going to use some earth brown colors for the spot. So I have E77 and then E57 will be my lighter color. You can see here I stamped him with Raven Hybrid ink, and then I left that piece of cardstock in my stamping platform. This is a trick that I do a lot, and you'll see why in just a minute. As I color with really any kind of medium, whether it's markers, watercolors, or pencils, it's going to dull the ink a little bit as you color over. So I like to keep that image right in my stamping platform and then stamp over top again and really brighten up that black. I like a nice crisp black, and I tend to kind of color outside of the lines just a little bit, so if I color over my ink, keeping it in my stamping platform allows me to crisp up that ink. I took the 1/4 of an inch A2 background strips die, and I cut some strips of white cardstock. And this is where I'm going to kind of play around with the width of that colorful striped background piece. Once I get that to where I want it to be, I'm going to glue down those white strips that are going to create a nice white border, and then I'll just use my scissors and trim away the excess. I glued that flat onto my card, and I stamped the Miss You So Much with Raven Hybrid ink, and that is from the You Mean the World to Me stamp set. I'm going to pop up my giraffe with some foam tape, and this card is finished. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye!